Well, once you get up here, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's beautiful up here. It's
Great.
nice. Nothing like it at all.
Great
That's
experience.
why I come up here. It's just pure just quietness and peace. And
Talking about Rocky IV.
right.
Get that
Train,
ass,
man. That's all I do is eat, sleep, and train.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
You got your own mural now too.
Yeah.
Feel like home now, right?
Yeah, one of my boys came out and put it up. So, you know, when I first got it done, actually, Forrest was at his peak, and you know, I think it was about a year after we fought, and he's like, "Who do you want of you punching on the mural?" I was like, "Forrest is a big name. Why not? Let's put Forrest." All of a sudden, 3 years later, I'm fighting Forrest again.
It's kind of fitting, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because actually, half this piece was De La Hoya, so I kept him on one side. Of course, I mean, I look up to him, so. But I thought I'd put my own on. I have Huntington Beach Pier, and you know, where I was born and raised. So.
What does this place mean to you? Obviously, like you said, looking up to Tosca.
You know, it means you know, champions were born here. You know, champions were made here. Very, very important part of my career is becoming a champion again. And you know, I invest a lot of money into this place, and I think really that this is what it's about: is putting in the hard work and getting away from the city and being as focused as possible. And it's kind of funny because the house I sleep in is the same house that Oscar slept in, and I just sit there thinking, like, you know, people probably went through a lot of same things I go through during training, the mental focus of a fight and everything. And you know, I'm still young at 34. You know, Couture started his career at 34, so I still got to go a good, you know, 5 more years left of fighting. Hopefully, not much after that.
Let's drop that down.
Yep.
Tito, how hard it's been being away from your twins, your girl? It's been a month now, right?
Yeah, actually, Jenna came up just this last weekend, the first time since I've been up here. But I mean, I've been up here for, this will be 7 weeks.
Oh, 7 weeks.
Yeah, it's been tough, man. It's been very, very challenging. You know, having newborns, it's hard. I mean, the hardest thing is my 7-year-old. You know, I have a 7-year-old son, Jacob, who I haven't seen in the last 7 weeks. And I get to talk to him on the phone, but I miss him. It's tough. You know, I'm a fighter, so I'm not supposed to have sad feelings, but, you know, I get sad. I get really sad. But it's just one of those things that, it's family, man. I try to work hard to provide for him. You know, I'm a provider now. I'm not just the Huntington Beach bad boy who kicks people's asses and that's it. You know, I got a family to provide for. You know, I got to be motivated and make sure that I work hard for, you know, my family because I'm a provider. And I really look at all of it as not just being a provider. You know, I got to be a role model to a lot of kids who look up to MMA now. You know, I see a lot of young kids. I went to a football game before I came up here, a high school football game, and all the kids were like, Tito, 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 Tito. I was like, man, these kids are like 12 years old, 13 years old. I mean, they were barely born when I started my career, and they know who I am. You know, I come to realize that, you know, a lot of things that I do and a lot of things I say, I gotta make sure I do the right things, and I gotta be a role model towards kids because I'm a father myself, and I think that really matters a lot.
Having the twins in your life now and then your family life, you know, how's that changed you as not just a fighter but a person in the last you know, year plus?
No, it changed me a lot just to be more motivated. You know, to put in my time, put in my work. You know, I spend time away from them now so I can provide for the future where I'll be with them every single day. And I think that's the biggest thing is really making sure their future has no problem financially. And you know, from a kid coming from the streets myself, I've really know what it feels like to try to survive, you know, on my own kind of thing. And now that I really look at it as being a father to provide for them, that's what it's all about.
What's the biggest difference in you as a fighter, pre-fatherhood, post-fatherhood? I mean, like you mentioned, does it change your mentality with fighting when you have more people to provide for than just yourself?
I think it's changed mentality because now I have this survival skill now. You know, you know, I got to bring home the bacon for my family, man. You know, I got to go out and I got to work as hard as I possibly can. You know, this is kind of like a feeling from when I first started. This guy tried to take away my lunch money. I ain't gonna let it happen. You know, I really have to provide and do the right things, not just in the fight, but you know, business-wise. You know, I don't, like I said, I don't have a manager. You know, I have an attorney. Me and him, we make our decisions together, and I got to make sure I make the right business decisions for my future.
Hey, when you went to that football game, why were you on the Corona Del Mar side? Was there some kind of
Well,
connection there?
yeah,
Or?
there's a connection there. Actually, the head trainer there, Paul Lacaniano, is my trainer. He's my strength conditioning coach. And so, the beginning of the season, I went to the kids and sat them down, I talked to them, and you know, I could do motivational speeches, and the coaches are just like, "Wow, man, I'm pumped up from it." And but I went there. It was a tough high school they went against, Newport Harbor. I mean, they're one of the best in the league, and it's still a young squad though that Corona Del Mar High School still has. So I know the year before they got rid of like 12 seniors. So, but you just look at different sports and how kids look up to athletes like myself. In the boxing game, there are not really many kids who look up to boxers. I mean, in our game, it's a big difference because we have wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu. It's martial arts, so it's a combination of everything. And there's one martial art that a kid really looks up to, and in ours, it's MMA.
Does your son Jacob do anything? Or
Yeah, he actually
got
plays
him
soccer.
Yeah.
He's a big soccer player. He loves soccer. I don't really get him in. I got him into wrestling for, I think we did 2 father-son camps together, and he likes it. He says, "I don't like to sweat, Dad," but things have changed over the last 8 months that he's been in with soccer because they run back and forth on the field. So I don't know. Maybe this next season will change, and he'll like to get into wrestling. But education's a big thing for him. He's a private school, of course. I know I've worked hard to make sure I could make the financial statement to pay for all his private school, and I think that's the most important thing to get him an education. He reads at a 3rd grade level, and he's in the 1st grade. He got his first report card, and I almost started crying because he got all A's. I was like, I'm doing good. My ex-wife, she's doing good with him, and now I got twin boys. Jenna's doing an awesome job as a mother and raising them. They're 7 months, and they're 2 months premature, and actually, Journey's just starting to learn how to walk a little bit. He's in a walker and he's running around the house. I guess Jesse's crawling around like no big thing. So it's kind of cool. I'm kind of missing those things right now, so it's sad, but at the same time, it's I'm providing for him right now. It's work time.
what about the way that Forrest Griffin handled his loss? You had to suffer losses and bounce back. What do you think about that last fight? He ran out of the ring. Basically, hasn't been heard from since.
I feel bad for Forrest because he had so much momentum on his side for things like that. You know, we all have losses. I mean, I've had 6 losses. In our sport, MMA, it's just who wakes up in the morning with a smile on their face and knowing they're going to win the match. It's all it comes down to. We all got the same technique. We all got the same style. It's just who's a little bit of a better athlete. I mean, it's not like in boxing where you're young and you're fresh and those are the guys who win. No, I mean, the older guys are going to win who have better wrestler and who have a better day, I think, who have a better camp, who have no injuries. And I think that's the biggest thing. But when Forrest ran out, I mean, I think he let a lot of his fans down. Even when I lost in my biggest fights, I lost Couture, I lost my world title. I cried in the octagon because to me, it's like a loved one dying to me when I lose. Because I worked so hard. I mean, I'm up here for 7 months, away from my family for 7 months or 7 weeks, and being here for that long and putting that much time in. And when you come up with a loss, it hurts, man. I go back in my hotel room and I lay in bed, and it takes me about 4 or 5 hours just to even get out of the room because it's that serious to me. Yeah. This is not just a game to me. This ain't game. This ain't game time. That all right, cool, we're gonna win by a couple points. No, this is survival for me. I have a clothing company, Punishment Athletics, and I got a couple stores. Yes, they're successful, but this is my life. This is what I live for. This is what my family survives off of. This, like I say, this is not a game. This is a fight. I'm a gladiator. I compete and I fight against another man to see who's the better fighter that night.
You don't play MMA, right?
There's
no playing.
There's no playing MMA.
Yeah.
Does it work in your favor at all, you think, going into this fight? The way things went for him the last time out, and you talked about how hard it is to deal with loss like that?
You know what? Let's see if he can handle the pressure. It shows that he can't handle the pressure, as he says in his interviews before, that he doesn't want to be a role model. He doesn't want people to look up to him. Well, I think you're in the wrong sport for that to happen, especially at the build and the growth that this sport is growing so fast. I mean, we're in the fastest growing sports in the world today, across the complete world. I mean, in Mexico, there will be over 7 million viewers, Latinos, be watching this fight, and it's huge. Germany, Europe. I mean, this sport has gotten so big so fast, and to say that you're not going to be a role model, to say that you want to be looked up by other kids, well, I think you may be in the wrong sport. we'll see what Forrest shows up. You know, hopefully the Forrest that shows up will be a great fight. I'm in shape. I mean, I'm ready to compete. I mean, I ain't worried about what he's thinking. I ain't worried about what he wants to do. I just know I know what I have to do, and that's win. And I'm gonna cause the most amount of damage in the quickest amount of time and have my hand raised, hopefully.